What need we to do?
Set C.
Okay, thank you. Let me found.
And me, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just like, I stopped listening to you, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, something happened and then Viviana appeared suddenly.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, set C.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to do one on one, or I can ask first to someone, and then that someone asks to someone, or I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to ask. On
Okay.
what
But one
kind?
on one, or what do
Well,
you prefer?
no, I can read all the question and
Mm.
after me, other
Uh,
people can read,
yeah,
or I don't know.
Steph, if you want, you can answer first.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, on what kind of equipment do newspaper print their papers?
The most common press used today is the offset web press.
Do all newspapers have their own printing presses?
No, many authors they're printing because of their circulation numbers.
For a small newspaper to have its own press would be nice, but it would have serious downsides, wouldn't it?
Yes. First, there is the issue of the initial capital outlay to buy it. Yet, the press and its operators will lie idle most of the day.
How does a newspaper with its own press maximize its usage?
By running other publications of its own, such as magazines and advertising materials, also by outsourcing for external clients.
Has the internet hurt the newspaper industry?
Yes, it has. Traditionally, 80% of a newspaper's income came from print advertising.
What has changed?
Sorry, there is a lot of noise in my place.
Does the threat end there?
Oh, no, wait. I have an answer. Sorry, I was just saying that it was a lot
I
of
can.
noise.
What do you say?
No, nothing. I'm going to
Ah, okay.
answer. I haven't answered.
Ah, okay.
Today, the advertisers are using the internet's cheaper and more dynamic advertising space.
Advertising space. Okay. Does the threat end there?
No, people now go online for wanted listings, classified ads, and social networking sites instead of going to a newspaper.
How have newspapers coped with this threat?
No, um, people now go online for another. Newspapers now hire web designers and webmasters to satisfy the public's demand for instant access to news.
Who else has benefited from these changes?
Small news providers who no longer have to invest in costly printing equipment, paper, and distribution routes. Okay,
Mhm.
now I'll ask, on what kind of equipment do newspapers print their papers?
The most common press used today is the offset web press.
Do all newspapers have their own printing presses?
No, many outsource their printing because of their circulation numbers.
For a small newspaper to have its own press would be nice, but it would have serious downsides, wouldn't it?
Yet, first, there is the issue of the initial capital outlay to buy it, yet the press and its operators would lie idle most of the day.
Okay. How does a newspaper with its own press maximize its usage?
By running other publications of its own, such as magazines and advertising materials, and also by outsourcing for external clients.
Has the internet hurt the newspaper industry?
Yes, it has. Traditionally, 80% of a newspaper's income came from print advertising.
The most common press use. Ah, no, mentiras, la respuesta. I'm so sorry. What has changed?
Today, advertisers are using the internet cheaper and more dynamic advertising space.
Does the threat end there?
No, people now go online for wanted listings, classified ads, and social networking sites instead of going to a newspaper.
How have newspapers coped with this threat?
Newspapers now hire web designers and webmasters to satisfy the public's demand for instant access to news.
Who else has benefited from these changes?
Small news providers who no longer have to invest in costly printing equipment, paper, and distribution routes. On what kind of equipment do newspaper print their papers? Viviana, it's your turn to answer.
Yes, the most common press used today is the offset web press.
Do all newspapers have their own printing presses?
No, many outsource their printing because of their circulation numbers.
For a small newspaper to have its own press could be nice, but it would have serious downsides, couldn't it?
Yes, first there's the issue of the initial capital outlay to buy it, yet the press and its operators would lie idle much of the day.
How does a newspaper with its own press maximize its usage?
By running other publications of its own, such as magazines and advertising materials, also by outsourcing for external clients.
Has the internet hurt the newspaper industry?
Yes, it has. Traditionally, 80% of a newspaper's income comes from print advertising.
What has changed?
Today, advertisers are using the internet's cheaper and more dynamic advertising space.
Does the threat end there?
No, people now go online for want listings, classified ads, and social networking sites instead of going to a newspaper.
Uh, how have newspaper coped with his threat?
Newspapers now hire web designers and webmasters to satisfy the public's demand for instant access to news.
Who else has benefited from these changes?
Small news providers who no longer have to invest in costly printing equipment, paper, and distribution routes.
Mhm.
Okay, it's my we have to go.
Ready, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Good. Okay, so let's start checking. Oh, I see another face. Hi, Jose.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now I feel I'm like meeting you. I'm meeting Natalie and Jose. Nice to meet you. Yeah, it feels nice. It feels nice to
The
like watch
internet
you.
today is
It's better.
is better than
that
That's
before.
nice.
Okay, awesome. So you're taking advantage of the connection now. Okay, good.
Yes.
Uh-huh. All right, so let's start with, let me check because I'm missing people today. Wait. Okay, yes. Let's start with Edith. Okay, Edith's question.
Okay, on what kind of equipment do newspapers print their papers?
Oneida, answer.
Okay, the most common press used today is the offset web press.
Correct. Okay, Stephanie, number 2.
Do all newspapers have their own printing presses?
Valeria.
No, many outsource their printing because of the circulation numbers.
Okay. Okay, Natalie, continue. Question 3.
For a small newspaper to have its own press would be nice, but it would have serious downsides, wouldn't it?
Veronica.
Yes, first, there's the issue of the initial capital outlay to buy it, yet the press and its operators would lie idle most of the day.
Okay. Jose, continue. Number 4.
How does newspaper with its own press maximize its usage?
Good. Okay, Millie, you can answer.
By running other publications of its own, such as magazines and advertising materials, also by outsourcing for external clients.
Okay, Millie, I need you to also ask number 5.
Okay, has the internet hurt the newspaper industry?
Iris.
Yes, it has. Traditionally, 80% of a newspaper's income came from print advertising.
Okay, Oneida, number 6.
What has changed?
Stephanie.
Today, advertisers are using the internet's cheaper and more dynamic advertising space.
Okay, Valeria, continue.
And number 7, right?
Correct.
And does that threat end there?
Natalie.
No, people now go online for wanted listings, classified ads, and social networking sites instead of going to a newspaper.
Okay, Veronica, number 8.
How have newspapers coped with this threat?
Yes, Jose.
Newspapers now hire web designers and webmasters to satisfy the public's demand for instant access to news.
Okay. Sorry, all of you guys repeat after me. Access.
Access.
Access. Good.
Access.
And okay, Millie, last question.
How else has benefited from these changes?
One more time.
Who else has benefited from his changes?
From?
From these changes.
From these changes. It is.
Small news providers who no longer have to invest in costly printing equipment, paper, and distribution routes.
Okay, repeat after me, all of you guys. Distribution.
Distribution.
That's a tricky word, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so one more time. Okay, listen and then you repeat. Distribution.
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 Distribution. Okay, good. And all of you guys repeat after me. Benefited.
Benefited.
Now, I'm going to give you a tip. Whenever you don't remember how to pronounce a word, what you can do is to focus on the root. For example, the root of this word is benefit, right? So what you can do is to first pronounce benefit, benefit, and then once you remember the pronunciation, then benefited. So you add the last part, okay? But yeah, so what do you think about this activity, guys? Is it a 1 or a 2?
Oh,
Yeah, I would say 2 also. It was pretty good. Okay, now I need you guys to take a screenshot of this. 1 second. Oops. Let's see. Going to practice speaking task. Let's see. Okay, we're going to do this one. Okay, so I think we did it last time, but we didn't have time to check it. So let's see. Let's have Millie. Okay, Millie, I need you to read the situation.
Some people like to get the news by reading a newspaper. Others prefer to get the news by watching television or online. How do you feel about getting the news by reading a newspaper? Give your opinion and reasons to support it.
So in this case, guys, what I need you to do is to focus on the question. This one here. How do you feel about getting the news by reading a newspaper? Okay. This one is your opinion. So you might like the idea of reading a newspaper, or you might prefer to go online or to use Facebook or to use social media, maybe like to get your news. But it is your opinion, and I need you to answer the question. How do you feel about getting the news by reading a newspaper? Okay. So I need you guys to take a screenshot. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready, teacher.
Ready.
Ready. Okay, really good. So let's practice this in pairs, okay? And also, guys, if you need help or if you have any doubts, let me know, okay? So let's do it. I'm missing people here. Okay, let's go.
Hello. Hello. Okay, I'm going to start. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Many people believe that watching news by television is more easy in order to understand what is happening in the country or in the world. And it's very important if you want to know absolutely all about different things. For instance, you can see La Nación or La Extra or another newspaper, but frankly speaking, I prefer to use my phone to get the news. There are several reasons why I think so. It's more convenient for me to get news by phone than television or newspaper. I know for a fact that others prefer television because maybe they can see the people talking or explaining the things. Finally, I'm always amazed, but in my case, it's only possible when you have the habitat or habitat. I don't know the words. How pronounce habit? Okay, the habit to use the phone or the computer.
Okay, Millie, do you want to go or should I go?
Yeah, if you want, you can go.
Okay. Okay. Many people believe that reading the newspaper is important in order to keep the traditions, because it's a very important part of the country. Others think that it is important to have the news by showing them in television or online. In my opinion, I think that having the news in both, it's a great idea. I prefer read them online because I think it's easier to find information, and it's a very important tool that now we use every day. In one hand, I understand that people like reading newspaper because it's good for the memory and to practice the reading. Therefore, I think, as I said before, we should have both. Finally, in my opinion, the newspapers should implement online in their company as they are doing right now. Um, Moreover, I would agree that people do just whatever they want to do with the news. That's it. I think yeah, that's it.
Okay. Um, okay. Many people believe that reading the newspaper um, in order to know about the news um, is very important. For instance, I think that it's better to read the newspaper by online or by phone because for me it's easier to get the app or to look it for. So other people think that read the newspaper um, is better because it's they just have to buy it to a provider. But in my case, I think that is not possible because I don't see a lot of people sending newspaper. So in one hand, um, I think maybe one advice is um, that maybe you can read the whole newspaper, but instead of the online, because in my case I usually just look for the news that I could like to read. Um, so in other hand, a lot of people or a lot of old people enjoy to do the puzzle that newspaper have. Um, and finally, in my opinion, that depends on what um, do you prefer. What do you prefer? Because if you can buy it, and uh, if you prefer to buy the newspaper, well, just go ahead, but just be informed. And if you prefer to look for it online, yeah, go ahead. And I think the most important thing is that you know about the news in the country.
Mhm.
That's it.
Okay. Again.
Yes, to
Okay.
practice.
Okay. Many people believe that watching news by television is more easy in order to understand what is happening in the in the country or in the world. And it's very important if you want to know absolutely all about different things. For instance, you can see see La Nación, La Extra, or another newspaper. But I prefer to use my phone to get the news. There are several reasons why I think so. It's more convenient for me to get news by phone than television or newspaper. I know for a fact that others prefer television because maybe they can see the people talking or explaining the things. Finally, I'm always amazed, but in my case, it's only possible when you have the habit to use the phone or computer. Okay.
Okay, guys. Okay. Many people believe that reading the newspapers is important in order to keep the traditions of the country. Others think that that is old-fashioned, and we must look forward to the future and implement new ways of getting to know the news. In my opinion, I think that we should implement new things and use the internet now that that is this this generation is all by internet. In one hand, I understand that some people like to read because it's better for our health, maybe in our vision. But in the other hand, I think that it's easier to get to know the news by our phone because it's something that we use every day, and we can get to know each news of each country to inform us better. Um, Finally, in my opinion, we should have the both options because all people has their own preference. That's it.
Okay. Millie?
Okay. Many people believe that reading the newspaper is very important in order to be informed about the news. For instance, in my case, I think it's better to look for the news by internet. Other people think that reading the news, um, reading a newspaper is better because they used to do it and they like to do the puzzles, or they like to see a gossip news too. So, but in my opinion, or maybe in my case, it's better to to read the newspaper by my phone. And but also I think that you should see the news by television. And in one hand, I think one of the disadvantage of the watching television news is because the reporter sometimes manipulate the information. So I think it's better to read either the newspaper of the news by online or by internet. So finally, in my opinion, I think that you can choose whichever you want, but it's important to be informed about the news and it's in general, but especially the news of the country. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to try again, Viviana. We can give it another round to
Okay,
practice
I'm
more.
going to read. Okay, okay. Um, okay. Many people believe that watching news by television is more easy in order to understand what is happening in the country or in the world. And it's very important if you want to know absolutely all about different things. For instance, you can see the La Nación, La Extra, or another newspaper, but we have to go now.
Looking right now. Let me check here. Okay. So for this one, maybe we can have Veronica. Where is Veronica?
I'm here.
Okay, so Veronica, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
And the rest of you guys, you're going to give feedback. I see another face. Hi, Valeria. Nice to meet you. Okay. All right. So Veronica, go ahead.
Okay. Many people believe that reading the newspaper in order to get the news is very important. Others think that it's better to read them online. In my opinion, I agree with these last people that it's better to read the news online through social media or paying an amount to get the newspaper in your email. In other hand, some people is very traditionally and prefer to read a newspaper and read other advertisements. Finally, in my opinion, it's easily to have the newspaper in your email because you can read it whenever you want. And also in Facebook, you can access to different news pages and be aware of the most important news in the country, and you don't have to go out and buy the newspaper. And that's all that I have.
Okay, that's fine. Very good. Okay, so guys, do you have any feedback, suggestions? No feedback.
I think it was very
Okay, I believe it was good. Now, I only have 2 observations. Let's see. At the beginning, Veronica, you said people is very traditionally. What is the correction there?
People are.
Okay, people are very, what?
Traditionally.
Can we? I would say maybe traditional, or people are what, like old-fashioned, maybe. If people are old-fashioned, that means that they have like this idea that they have to buy the newspaper every day and they need like a physical copy, and right, so that's maybe like being old-fashioned, because nowadays, as you said, right, we have like easy access to the internet, we have easy access to news. So maybe we can say that people are old-fashioned sometimes.
Old-fashioned.
Okay, and then like at the end you said like in my opinion, and then you said a sentence, and then you said it is easy to, you said like it is easy to have your news and then something else, but in that case it is better to say it is easier.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy. I said easily, but it's
easily. It was easily. There you go. Exactly. So yeah, you can say it is easier to, and then your idea. Okay, really good. Good job. And also, guys, right now we're going to work on task 4. Okay, task 4 is about advantages and disadvantages of. Okay, this one is a tricky one. Let's see. Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie, you can help me reading the situation.
okay. Some of your acquaintances, I don't know, acquaintances. Okay, some of your acquaintances have a monthly subscription to the newspaper. Others buy the newspapers on a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis. What are the advantage and disadvantage of buying newspapers every day?
Okay. All of you guys, repeat after me. Advantages.
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 And disadvantages.
Disadvantages.
So again, in this one, guys, we have to focus on this question here. It says, what are the advantages and disadvantages of buying a newspaper every day? Okay. So I understand that maybe for some of you, buying a physical copy of the newspaper is not a good idea, but like leaving that behind, right? If you don't think about that, let's say opinion that you have, what are the advantages and disadvantages of buying a newspaper every day instead of having a subscription? Okay? Is it clear?
Yeah.
What is a daily basis?
Every day.
Okay, on a daily basis.
Okay,
Teacher,
now,
do you mean that subscription is to the company give you all day the newspaper, or subscription like web?
Let's see. It's because it doesn't say like monthly subscription into the newspaper. Others buy the newspaper on a daily basis. I believe that this one is more like a physical copy. So for example, I know that La Nacion or other companies, you pay like a monthly amount and they give you the newspaper like every day.
Yeah,
Or you
okay.
have, and you also have online access, right? But yeah, that's like, I think this one is more like, actually it's more like focused on a physical copy of a newspaper. Okay. Anything else? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so advantages and disadvantages. And also guys, before you go, for this one you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, so try to time yourselves and also give each other feedback. Let me just change the groups 1 second. Okay, let's go.
Hi, Viviana.
Hi,
Hi,
hello.
Vale.
How are you?
And you?
Fine.
Okay.
Girl.
Who
Sorry.
wants to start?
Okay. Like disadvantage. I think that
Mm-hmm.
the cost is very expensive if you have subscriptions, but if you buy only when you need to know something about the news, it's more easy. Um, this is like that disadvantage.
Advantages.
The advantages is it can be crash because if you have a lot of newspaper, you don't read it all day. So it maybe it can get trash. Let me a moment, please. I'm going to change my place.
Okay.
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 Okay, Vale, do you want to start or I start?
Do it.
Me?
Because, yeah, because I don't buy or I doesn't buy a newspaper.
Okay. Uh, do you have like a cloud or something that to take my minute and a half?
Yeah.
Mami, ¿me lleva el café allá?
Sí. Minute and a half?
You're rich. You have. This is an
Hey,
iPhone.
no.
You're rich.
No. I paid for, I don't know, 50 months.
Oof,
So,
that's a lot.
yeah. Okay. Let's do this. 1,
Okay.
2, and 3.
Okay, one of the disadvantages of buying the newspaper every day is that you have to go to the supermarket or the grocery store to buy it. You don't have it in your house. Also, it's more expensive and it also takes a lot of time. For example, you have to wake up very, very early to get dressed to go to the grocery store, but you are lucky if you find the newspaper already in the grocery stores. But if you have the subscription, you already have the newspaper at 6 a.m. for example. So it's I think it's better for you to have a subscription if you're going to read the newspaper daily. But if you don't have the time to do it, if you don't have the time to read the newspaper and you're going just to spend your money, it's bad for you. Try to economize as much as possible. So I think that if you have the responsibility to read every day, you should have a subscription. But if you don't have that,
Ready?
when I was doing my when I was doing my conclusion, it was my conclusion. Ah, damn.
You can do that. Oh, you do very well.
Thank you. Now it's your turn.
Okay. In my case,
Tell me.
I'm gonna... What?
Okay, go ahead.
What?
In my case, I'm gonna give my opinion of that. If you are a person who reads the newspaper all day and it's every day, like, okay, again. Okay, in my opinion, if you're a person who reads the newspaper every day, it's a good option to get us or to have a subscription, a monthly subscription, because you know that all morning you have a newspaper in front of your house. If you know that you don't want to read the newspaper every day of your life, you don't need to buy a subscription because it would be crash on your house. Or I know that, or I think that the person who reads the newspaper don't want to read a newspaper or a old notice. So the newspaper that you gift or that you have yesterday, you don't want to read it tomorrow, maybe. You want to read it daily. So
Gracias. Sí, sí.
the resume of all that is, if you want to read a newspaper and you know you want to read a newspaper all day, it's good to have a subscription. But if you don't are coming or are no, if you don't want to do it all day, it's not necessary to buy a subscription. Maybe.
Ready?
Yeah.
1 minute and a half, and you did it pretty good.
Now,
Now it's
if the teacher asks me, I don't want. No, I can't say all that I say now.
I know.
I want to forget all.
No, please don't forget.
Yeah.
Try to memorize that. Diana, are you ready?
Okay, again.
Yeah, your
Okay.
time to shine.
Okay,
Tell me.
okay.
1.5 minutes.
Okay. I think if you this I can say this word, the advantage.
Advantage and disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay. I think that disadvantage to bite each day is they can or they generate trash when newspaper pile up or you have a lot of newspaper. It's expensive if you don't read it daily. There are many people with different opinions, and sometimes the reality is not known. But it has advantage too. If you think in the magazines, you have to think or to have magazines about recetas. I don't remember the word about recetas.
Recetas.
Yeah.
Like recipes?
Recipes.
Recipes.
Yeah. You can see all about the fashions and other things too. But if you think or if you prefer to buy not each day, only when you need, the disadvantage is when you it's because you need to go at the farm drugstore or supermarket or there are things you need to go for buy it. All the things have different things. If you, for example, if you want uh, to clean the windows, you prefer daily.
Time's up.
But
Yeah, if you want to make a piñata,
yeah.
you can do it for that.
Yeah.
It's a good reason to buy a daily
Yeah.
That's
newspaper.
true.
Yeah.
I use the newspaper for my dog poop, my poop.
Yeah.
Poop of my dog.
And do you like to play? I don't know how to say. ¿Cómo es que se qué era eso? ¿Qué eran palabras y usted tiene que buscar la vara y escribirlo?
Ah,
I don't know. I'm very young.
Bye, bye.
crucigrama o
Sí, algo así, como que te decían
sopa de
palabras y
letras.
estaban cruzadas. No, estaban cruzadas.
Crucigrama.
Crucigrama es.
Ajá, es el crucigrama.
Sopa de letras.
No, la
Buenísimo.
sopa de letras es la lista y usted la busca, pero el
Ah,
crucigrama
el
es cuando
sudoku
usted...
también.
Ajá, el crucigrama es cuando son como líneas verticales, horizontales y hay que rellenarlas.
Y las palabras se conectan.
Exacto.
Ujú. El horóscopo también.
Ujú.
And the comics? A ver.
Los de Garfield.
Yeah.
Ajá.
I love it.
Mafalda.
I don't like Mafalda that much because I didn't understand until I was like old.
What?
But I love Garfield. It was my favorite.
Ajá.
Really? It's so cute.
Yes. He's so relatable. I feel like he was like my best friend.
Ujú.
But yes, using the newspaper is very good
Ujú.
for some things, but for the environment is not.
Yeah.
For
Now,
trees.
in the last breaking room, I was talking to Oneida, and I said that in old days it would be good because you inform for the news that happen all the world. But nowadays you don't have instant news. So
Okay, so ready, guys?
So, teacher.
So.
Yes.
Okay. So, Veronica. Veronica, you're not going to do it again. Just don't worry, okay? So, Veronica, I need you to pick a number.
Yo, what?
Pick a number.
5.
5. Let me check the list. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5. Natalie. Okay. All right. So, Natalie, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay.
Okay. One of the advantage I can think of in regards to this idea would be have the information, the current information and news every day. Consequently, it would allow the company's news. How can I say contaminate? I don't know. Pollute the environment. For example, if you buy a newspaper every day, you can get the information, the current information about the news that it's happening in our country. Maybe you can watch or read the news while you are taking a nap in your bed or something like that. On the other hand, a disadvantage, it would be that the production it's very expensive and the company news need a lot of machines to get the newspaper every day. Additionally, I don't like to buy a newspaper every day because I prefer to read the newspaper in online or in social media, maybe in Facebook. And in short, those are both the advantage and disadvantage. It could be different, and I can't think of at this moment. It's better to get in the news by reading an online platform.
Okay. All right. Okay, good. Guys, do you have any feedback? Any suggestions, feedback?
It was really good.
Yeah,
Fluent.
I believe it was good. It was really good. Now, guys, I'm going to give you feedback, like general feedback, okay? And this is something that sometimes happens when the students are doing speaking task 4. In speaking task 4, avoid, by all means, avoid saying this. Okay, so never, guys, never ever say, in my opinion, in speaking test number 4, okay? If you say that in the test, like when you take like the final test, for you to get the, like the Michigan English test, I mean like the final test, if you say that, guys, they're going to take some points off of your grade. Why? Because in test number 4, you have to only focus on these advantages and disadvantages. You cannot say what you think. It is just like giving a list. So an advantage of buying a newspaper every day is that you're not going to waste a lot of money on having a full subscription, a monthly subscription, but on the other hand, a disadvantage is that you pollute the environment. Okay, so in that case, you just give like a list of advantages and disadvantages, but you don't have to say like, for example, I hate buying a newspaper, or I don't like the idea. I mean, because if you say that, that's for task number 4. In this one, you can give your opinion, right? So that's like the main difference. But yeah, just for you to have that clear, okay? And also, guys, be careful with pronunciation. Here, for example, guys, this is the expression. Repeat after me. One of the advantages.
One
One
of
of
One
the
of the
advantages.
One of the
advantages.
advantages.
And here, well, I mean, this is different. But if you want to say this with disadvantages, so repeat after me. One of the disadvantages.
One of
One of
the
the
Of
disadvantages.
disadvantages.
Now, if you don't say one at the beginning, then your option is going to be like this. A disadvantage of this is that, and then you continue. And at the end, guys, this is the expression, okay? So repeat after me. Those are the advantages and disadvantages. Repeat.
Those
Those
are
are
the
the
advantages
advantages and
and
disadvantages
I can think of at this moment.
I can think
think of at this moment.
So it is like saying this, I can think of, here you link it, and then you say at this moment. And this is the conclusion, okay? So just for you to have that also clear, okay? Guys, before we continue, do you have any questions or doubts about this?
Teacher, in this speaking test, can we change some keywords, or we need to follow them?
Actually, guys, to be honest, I would do this. I wouldn't follow that, actually. So, and I would keep it simple, because you can say, actually, and I forgot to tell you, in task 4, guys, it is not necessary to give an introduction or anything. You just start with an advantage or a disadvantage. You choose, for example, one of the disadvantages of this topic is that, and then you start like giving a list. Then you can say, on the other hand, an advantage of this idea, or an advantage of buying the newspaper every day is that, and then you say it, and then you say the conclusion. In short, those are the advantages and disadvantages I can think of at this moment, and you finish. Yeah, so it is not necessary to follow all the keywords that you see here, because you're going to get confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So just keep it simple. Just imagine you're giving a list. It is just giving a list of, if you have 2 and 2, it is better. So 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages, and then the conclusion.
Teacher, can you repeat how can I say that is una industria contaminante?
A polluting
Polluting
company, maybe?
industry, no?
Okay, a polluting industry,
Okay, polluting is the word.
Polluting.
Mhm.
Yes. Or you can say, for example, like buying a newspaper every day causes a lot of pollution.
Yeah, more easy.
Easier. Okay.
Easier.
Really good. Okay. So, and also, guys, if you have to do this in the evaluation, maybe you should have like some ideas written down, like some ideas
Yes.
ready just for you to follow them.
Mhm.
It is not necessary to have everything like written down, but just like some keywords. That's going to help you a lot. Okay. So right now, guys, I need you to practice the retelling of this story about the dog. That's going to be also for the evaluation. And you're going to use, not the dog, sorry. I was thinking of module 23. The one about the
Ah, okay.
because I just saw like the pictures
Prepare.
and I remember Blackie. But no, the
About
retelling
the
of
millionaire.
exactly about the pearl. This one is for the evaluation. Ready?
No, teacher. Ready.
Okay. So let's practice right now. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello again.
Okay. How we can read one or the
I want to do the whole thing, but I don't want to be first.
okay. One day, an elegant man entered a famous jewelry shop and he said that he wanted to buy a pair for his wife's birthday. After that, he said that the price didn't matter since business had been good that year. Further examining a number of pairs, he chose an exquisite black one that cost $5,000 and he paid for the gem in cash and he shook hands with the jeweler
Euler.
and left. A few days later, the man returned at the jewelry shop because he was looking for another pair because his wife had liked it so much, but it had to be exactly the same size and quality as she wanted a pair of earrings made. So he asked jeweler how he could get um, hold of such a pair, and he answered it was impossible to find an exact duplicate of the pair, and if it could, it would cost him a pretty penny. In other words, the millionaire instead in advertised in the newspaper, and he offered $25,000 for the matching pair. Also, a lot of people answered the ad, but nobody had a pair. Just when the jeweler was losing the hope, a old lady entered into the store and she pulled the perfect pair from her bag, and she didn't wanted to sell
She
because
didn't.
she didn't want it.
Uh-huh. She didn't want.
Okay, she didn't want to sell it because she inherited it from
Inherited it.
from her mother, and her mother inherited it from hers, but she
One second. Viviana, repeat after me. Inherited it.
inherited it.
So repeat the idea. So one more time.
Okay, and she didn't want to sell because
She didn't want to what?
she didn't want
To sell it.
it because she inherited it from her mother, and her mother inherited it from hers, but she needed the cash. Then the jeweler was quick to pay the old lady before she changed her mind. So he called the millionaire's hotel, but he couldn't be found. In conclusion, the old lady were working together, and the pair that she sold was the same one the millionaire had bought.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Perfect.
good.
Very good.
Very work together.
We're working. I think she said like the millionaire and the woman were working together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
We're working together.
Okay. But did you say the millionaire and the woman right at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, okay, got you. Uh-huh. So yeah, we're working. Okay, really good. I couldn't I couldn't listen to the first part because I mean I wasn't here, but I don't know Iris or Valeria if you have any feedback.
No,
It was
I
good.
think it's
It was
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing everything. Like it's
Yes.
okay, okay. All right. So who's next?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Valeria. Or
Hey, no. You're good.
Okay. Um, okay. One day, an elegant man entered a famous jewelry shop. Jewelry shop.
famous what?
Famous jewelry
This is so you say jewel and then you say ring. Jewelry.
jewelry shop. He wanted to buy a pair for his wife's birthday. He said that the price didn't matter since his business had been good that year. After examining a lot of pairs, he chose an exquisite black one that cost $5,000. He paid in cash and shook hands with the jeweler and left.
He paid in cash?
And shook,
No?
shook,
Shook.
and shook hands with the jeweler and left. Days later, the man returned and said that his wife had liked the pair so much that she was looking for another one. But it had to be exactly the same size because she wanted a pair of earrings made. So he asked how he could get hold of such a pair. Then the jeweler said that it was almost impossible to find an exact duplicate of that pair.
It was almost impossible to
Found,
find.
to find,
To find.
to find an exact duplicate of that pair. And if he could, it would cost pretty penny. However,
And if he could, he would
cost
him.
it would cost him. It would cost him. It would cost him pretty penny.
It would cost him a pretty penny.
A pretty penny. It would cost him a pretty penny.
Or you can say it would be expensive if you want to keep it simple.
However, the man insisted on finding the matching pair.
However, the man
Insisted
uh-huh.
insisted to find.
Maybe you can say insisted on finding.
Insisted on finding the matching pair and offered the jeweler $25,000. So many people answered the ad, but nobody had the same pair. Just when the jeweler was losing hope, an old lady came into the store, and to his amazement, she pulled the perfect matching pair. Then she said that she didn't want it to part with it because she inherited
Sorry, she said she didn't?
want it.
You're saying didn't. So she said she didn't want.
She didn't want to part with it because she inherited from her mother, and her mother
Okay, sorry,
inherited
because she inherited it.
From her mother.
Okay.
Inherited.
You can say with T, inherited it.
Inherited it. And her mother inherited it from hers. But she really needed the money. The jeweler paid the old lady very quick before she changed her mind. After that, he called the millionaire hotel However, the
He
million,
called?
the hotel, the millionaire's
The
hotel,
millionaires. Mhm.
he called the millionaire's hotel. However, the millionaire couldn't be found because the old lady and the millionaire were thieves, and the duplicate pearl was the same that the millionaire had bought.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, and let's finish with Valeria.
Okay. One day, an elegant man entered a famous jeweler's shop. He said that he wanted to buy a pearl for his wife's birthday. The price didn't matter since business had been good that year. After examining a number of pearls,
After
examining,
examining.
examining. After examining a number of pearls, he chose exquisite black one, and that cost $5,000. He paid for the gem in cash,
He paid for what?
for the gem.
Gem.
Gem. He paid for the gem in cash, shook hands, no,
Shook.
shook hands with the jeweler and left. After a few days, the man returned and said that his wife had liked the pearl so much, and she wanted another one just like it. It had to be the same size and quality because she wanted to make a pair of earrings. He said that how he could get hold of such a pearl. And the jeweler replied that how he could get a similar one, that it would be impossible.
So one more time. And the jeweler replied that
That how he could get a similar one, and it would be impossible.
maybe how it is better to change that idea. So you can say that the jeweler replied that it was impossible to get a duplicate or to get a similar one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How he could get a similar one, and if he could, it would cost him a lot of money. However, the millionaire insisted that the jeweler advertised in the newspaper and offered a lot of money for the matching pearl. Many people answered the ad, but nobody had the exactly pearl that he wanted. Just then, the jeweler was losing hope, but an old lady came into the store, and to his amazement, and she showed him the perfect pearl. She didn't like to apart with it.
She didn't like to?
Didn't like to apart with it.
Didn't like to part with it.
To part with it. Okay, she didn't like to part with it. Because she inherited it. Inherited it from her mother, and her mother inherited it for hers. So
From hers.
From hers. But she really needed the money. The jeweler was quick to pay the old lady before she changed her mind, and then she called the millionaire's hotel, but he couldn't be found. Um, because the millionaire and the old lady were tears, were
It's.
hits,
Uh-huh.
were hits. So they work together, and the duplicate or the exactly pair that the lady had is the same that the
Was
millionaire had bought.
was the same?
Was the same that the millionaire had bought.
Exactly. Now you said exactly, but it was exact. The
Okay, it
exact
was
pair.
exact. The
Uh-huh.
pearl.
I think you said exactly pair, right? Or what did you say? I don't remember.
I think that
Uh-huh. Well, I heard exactly, but it was exact. Uh-huh.
exact pearl.
Uh-huh. There you go. hmm Okay, really good. You were doing a good job, actually, like the three of you. Just remember that everything has to be in past.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, good job. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we're going to start checking right now. And for number one and number two, I need Viviana. Okay, Viviana, you can do one and two.
Okay, one day an elegant man entered a famous jewelry shop and he said that he wanted to buy a pair for his wife's birthday. After that, he said that the price didn't matter since business had been good that year. Further,
Okay, thank you.
okay,
That's fine. All of you guys, repeat after me. Famous.
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 Sounds like famous. Famous. Uh-huh.
Famous.
So Viviana, one more time. Famous.
Famous.
Uh-huh. Famous. Good. Okay, Jose, you can do three and four.
Okay, after he has examined a lot of pair, he chose an exquisite black one and paid for it $5,000. He shook hands with the jeweler and left.
One second, Jose, sorry. You said here after he has examined. After he?
Examined.
But after he
Has.
had, right? After he had examined.
Okay.
Time passed. Okay. So days later.
Okay. After he had examined. Okay. Some days. Sunday later, the man returned to the jewelry shop because his wife wanted another one, but just like it. It has to be the same size and
It?
quality.
Jose,
Has.
it?
Had.
Hat.
Had. Okay. It had to be the same size and quality because she wanted a pair of earrings. And the man asked to the jeweler,
As?
to the jeweler,
Without two. As to do it.
asked the jeweler, asked the jeweler that how he could get her of such pair. The jeweler answered him. He would think it was impossible to find it. If he could, it would cost him a lot of money.
It would cost him
It would cost him.
a lot of money. Good. Okay, now let's see. Let's have check the list. Miri, you can do five and six.
Okay.
However, the millionaire insisted that the jeweler advised in the newspaper and offered $25,000 for the matching pair. Although many people answered the ad, but nobody had a pair that was just right. When the jeweler had losing hope, a little old lady came into the store.
Sorry, meeting 1 second. When the jeweler what?
When the jeweler was losing hope,
Okay, when the jeweler was losing hope.
a little old lady came into the store. And to his amazement, she pulled the perfect pearl for her bag. And she didn't want to sell it because it inherited it from her mother, and her mother inherited it from hers.
Okay, 1 second. All of you guys repeat after me. Inherited.
Inherited. Inherited.
So let's repeat the idea here one more time. She inherited it from her mother.
She inherited it from her mother, and her mother inherited it from hers. But she really needed the money.
Okay, good. And let's finish with Valeria. Okay, Valeria, you can do the last two.
Okay. The jeweler was quick to pay the old lady before she changed her mind. Then he called the millionaire's hotel and he couldn't be found. Oh my God, I can't remember the last one. Then, oh my God, I forgot it.
So he called the millionaire's hotel and he couldn't be found.
He couldn't be found, and he noticed maybe that the old lady and the millionaire was at tears.
Was thieves. Were thieves.
So the millionaire and the old woman?
And the old woman was thieves.
Were
thieves. And the pearl that the old lady sold, it was the same that the millionaire had bought.
Okay. Sorry, the pearl that the woman sold? Now, in the second sentence, you don't need to say it. You have to say was the same.
Was the same? Okay, I got it. The pearl that the old lady sold was the same that the millionaire had bought.
He had bought. Good. Okay, really good, guys. Now, just an observation, guys. Be careful with final sounds. For example, here. Okay, so repeat after me. Pearls.
Better.
One more time. Pearls. Okay, repeat after me. Earrings.
Earrings.
One more time. Earrings.
Earrings.
Okay, there we go. And there was another one with final S. Okay, thieves. Repeat after me. Thieves. Exactly. Okay. So just remember, guys, final sounds are extremely important. Okay. So what do you think about this retelling? Is it a 1 or a 2?
A two?
Yeah, it was a 2. It was really good. Okay. And you were using a lot of connectors and you were conjugating the actions correctly. So good job. And right now, guys, I need you to practice the presentation about Blackie. Now, this one is going to be for the evaluation. Okay, so maybe you can practice using this like. And for this one, guys, remember that it is better to use your own names. Okay, so don't say Ramon or Frank. Just try to use your own names. And if you want to change some ideas That's up to you, and actually I would really appreciate it. For example, if you don't want to say pneumonia, you can say, oh, I'm getting worse, I might have COVID-19 or bronchitis. Alright, so I mean, you can change whatever you want here, and or even the amounts.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't remember the numbers, maybe because sometimes when we have evaluations, we get nervous. I mean, you can say whatever number comes to your mind.
Mhm.
It is not necessary to memorize the exact amounts, okay? So just for you to know. So let's do it here. I'm going to change the groups one more time. 1 second. Let's go.
Sí, ya está. Estoy en clase, ¿no?
Hi, Viviana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, do you know in what page it is?
Page
The
71.
71.
71.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you want to be Ramon or Frank?
Frank, it's okay.
Okay, all right, Ramon. Okay, how do you feel, Viviana?
Worse than yesterday. I have a fever and a terrible cough, and there's no medicine in the house.
Cheer up, Frank. I'll send Blackie to the local drugstore for some aspirin and a bottle of cough medicine. He will be back before you know it.
Come on, Ramon. Ramon, don't be silly. If you want to help, go yourself, please.
There, Blackie, a note for the pharmacist, a $5 bill, and a rubber band. And off you go.
Stop it, Ramon. I'm too sick to have you pulling my leg.
And keep the change, Blackie.
You know that doc won't be back with any medicine, do
You wanna bet?
Yes, how about it? How about $25?
Let's make it $50.
It's almost 30 minutes, and no doc and no medicine, Ramon. I'd laugh in your face if my chest didn't hurt me so much.
Something has obviously happened to him. As a rule, he obeys me to the letter.
Time to face the music. Admit that you just had a total loss of $55.
Don't be so sure. There he is, coming down the street with a package in his mouth.
No, you are putting me on again.
Good boy, Blackie. What took you so long? Let me see that package. A bottle of cough syrup, and believe it or not, he bought a bond with the change.
You are kidding me? Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Now be a good sport, Frank. Viviana, and take your medicine. I'll be by for the money tomorrow when you're feeling better.
Oh no, I'm getting worse. I must have bronchitis or pneumonia.
Okay. Change.
Okay. Millie is here.
Yes.
Oh, Millie, hi.
Yeah. Hello.
I thought he had changes again.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if you want to be Ramon or Frank.
Okay, I can be Ramon.
Okay, so I'll be Frank this time.
Okay. How do you feel, Steffi?
Worse than yesterday. I have a fever and a terrible cough, and there is no medicine in the house.
Cheer up, Steph. I'll send Lucky to the local drugstore for some aspirin and a bottle of cough medicine. He'll be back before you know it.
Oh, come on, Millie. Don't be silly. If you want to help, go by yourself, please.
And there's Lucky. A note for the pharmacist, a $5 bill, and a rubber band, and off you go.
Stop it, Millie. I am too sick to have you pulling my leg.
Keep the change, Lucky.
You know, that dog won't be back with any medicine, dummy.
You want to bet?
Yes. How about $25?
Let's make it $50.
Yes, Marty. $50.
You're on for $50.
Okay. It's almost 30 minutes and no dog and no medicine. Millie, I'll laugh in your face if my chest didn't hurt me so much.
Something has obviously happened to him. As a rule, he obeys me to the letter.
Time to face the music. Admit that you just had a total loss of $55.
Don't be so sure. There he is, coming down the street with a package in his mouth.
No, you're pulling me on again.
Good boy, Blackie. What took you so long? Let me see the package. A bottle of cough syrup. Believe it or not, he bought a bone with your change.
Oh, you're kidding me. Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Now be a good sport, Steph, and take your medicine. I'll be by the money tomorrow when you're feeling better.
Oh no, I'm getting worse. I must have bronchitis or pneumonia.
Sí, vaya, estoy en clase.
Okay, I like this exercise because I believe I can be an actress.
Yeah.
Ok. ¿Cuánto me falta? Termino a las 9.
Okay.
Sí. Sí, sí. Sí, está bien. Apenas termino
So
bien.
I think
Sí, para
Viviana is
hablar.
going to ask.
Okay, I'm going to ask. How do you feel, Frank?
We have to
Now
go
we
back.
have to go now.
Actually, I'm not going to share the screen, sorry. Okay, so I would like to have Veronica and Oneida. Okay, you're going to present. And the rest of you guys, if you need to help, you can do so, okay? So let's do it.
How do you feel, Oneida?
I bet worse than yesterday. I have a terrible cough, a fever, and I don't have medicine in my house.
Cheer up, Oneida. I'll send Blackie to the local drugstore for some aspirin and a bottle of cough medicine. He'll be back before you know it.
Oh, come on, Vero. Don't be silly. If you want to help, go yourself, please.
There, Blackie, a note for the pharmacist, a $5 bill, and a rubber band, and off you go.
Stop it, Vero. I'm too sick to have you pulling my leg.
And keep the change, Blackie.
You know that Blackie won't be back with any medicine, dummy?
You want to bet?
Yes, how about $10?
Let's make it $50.
Yes, Marty, $50.
You're on for $50.
It's almost 30 minutes and no dog and no medicine, Vero. I'd laugh in your face if my chest didn't hurt me so much.
Something has obviously happened to him. As a rule, he obeys me to the letter.
Time to face the music. Admit that you just had a total loss of $50.
Don't be so sure. There he is, coming down the street with a package in his mouth.
No, you're putting me on again.
Good boy, Blackie. What took you so long? Let me see the package. Aha, a bottle of cough syrup, and believe it or not, he bought a bun with a change.
You're kidding me. Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Now be a good sport, Oneida, and take your medicine. I'll be by for the money tomorrow when you're feeling better.
Oh no, I'm getting worse. I must have bronchitis or pneumonia. Pneumonia, I don't know. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Okay, that was really good. And I would like to also have Jose and Iris. Okay, Jose and Iris, go ahead.
Do you want to start, Jose, or yes, or I start?
Jose starts.
Sorry, I was in mute. How do you feel, Iris?
Worse than yesterday. I have a fever and a terrible cough. Um, there is no medicine in the house.
Cheer up, Iris. I'll send Blackie to the local drugstore for some aspirin and a bottle of cough medicine. He'll be back before you know it.
Oh, come on, Jose. Don't be silly. If you want to help, go yourself, please.
There, Blackie. A note for the pharmacist, a $5 beer, and rubber band. And off you go.
Stop it, Jose. I'm too sick to have you pulling my leg.
And keep the chains, Blackie.
You know, that dog won't be back with any medicine, dummy.
Oh, sorry, 1 second, Iris. In that part, maybe you can say, you know, your dog won't be back. So your dog. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
You know your dog won't be back with any medicine, dummy.
You want to bet?
Yes. How about $25?
Let's make it $50.
Yes, Marty. $50.
Okay, you are on for $50.
It's almost 30 minutes and no dog and no medicine. Jose, I'd laugh in your face if my chest still hurt me so much.
Something has obviously happened to him. As a rule, he obeys me to the letter.
Time to face the music. Admit that you just had a total loss of $55.
Don't be sure. There he is, coming down the street with a package in his mouth.
No, you're putting me on again.
Good boy, Blackie. What took you so long? Let me see the package. A bottle of cough syrup. And believe it or not, he bought a bun with the change.
No, you're kidding me. Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Now be a good sport, Iris, and take your medicine. I'll be
Mami,
for
estoy
the
en
money
clases.
tomorrow
Yo no
when
le
you
estoy
are feeling
escuchando
better.
nada.
Oh no. I'm getting worse. I must have bronchitis or COVID.
You, you doesn't compete with me.
Okay. So very good, guys. So what do you think about these presentations with, from Veronica, Oneida, Jose, and Iris? Is it a 1 or a 2?
It's super cool.
Two.
It was a 2. And they were like acting. I heard that like there were some voice inflections. So that means that you're like understanding what you're reading, and you're like having a different intonation when you have to either like reply to a question or answer to a question, or when you have to like act as you were annoyed or happy. And, I mean, so I felt that you were like trying to act in some way, right? So it was pretty good. Okay, so yeah, it is a 2. And guys, right now what I need you to practice is the okay, first we're going to do this. I'm going to send you to paperwork for you to practice this exercise. You're going to complete again the sentences. Pay attention to the conditionals, okay? The 3 conditionals we have, okay? And then we're going to check this in pairs. Do you have the picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Have it.
Mhm. Okay, so let's practice this really, really quick, and we're going to check it in a few minutes. Let's go. Okay, Stephanie.
Hello. Hello. Chicas, ¿de esas ustedes tienen las respuestas? No.
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm going. Okay, I'm going to. Okay, if I ate a pizza, I could cry of happiness. This is a number.
Okay. Again, Millie, number 17.
Okay. If Frank weren't so lazy, he would have started his major.
Okay, that's true. Stephanie?
My parts hadn't been
Since I was reading the number one, since the number one is only 16, teacher?
It is like the second part.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I mean, I think you said like something. It is fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Yes, I was reading about the first.
That's okay. Yes. Stephanie?
This is the 16, 17, 20.
I think Stephanie's having problems. Can you hear me, Stephanie? No. Okay, maybe Viviana, you can try doing 18. My purse.
Okay. 17, teacher. 18, teacher?
18.
Okay, if my purse hadn't been stolen, I could have had my ID with me.
I could have had my... Okay, yeah. Very good. Okay, Millie, continue.
If Greg didn't come to class every day, he could repeat the course.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, Viviana?
20.
20.
Okay. If Sue isn't sick tomorrow, he will visit his family.
Good. Millie?
If the boys don't pay attention in class, they won't pass the course.
He won't pass the course. Good. Viviana?
If Fred hadn't fainted, he couldn't have broken his leg.
Exactly.
He wouldn't.
You said wouldn't.
Yes, wouldn't.
If he hadn't fainted, he wouldn't have broken his leg. Yep. Okay, Millie?
Okay. If that doesn't bring the money, if that doesn't bring the money, we can go to the movie.
You're saying can't, right? We can't.
We can.
Okay, one more time. If it doesn't.
If that doesn't bring the money, we can't go to the movie.
We can't go to the movie. Good. Okay, Viviana?
Okay. The teacher isn't going to be here if she take first a good course.
If she what?
If she take first a good course.
If she takes first a good course.
Takes a good course, yes.
Okay. Maybe you can say the teacher isn't going to be here if she takes another course.
Okay, if she takes another course.
Exactly. I need you to continue doing the rest because I need to talk to someone. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
George can't speak well. Wait a minute. George can't speak well if she doesn't must.
Mhm. Marge doesn't have to take that test if she gets high scores during the course.
Jack might not be able to help Jim if he hadn't had time.
Mhm. William couldn't have fed the dogs if he hadn't had enough time.
Sam won't get there tomorrow. Mm, Sam won't. Okay. Sam won't get there tomorrow if he had gotten a sick.
Mhm. Okay. Sam won't get there tomorrow if he doesn't have time to.
Yes.
Okay, the last one.
The washing machine isn't going to break down if gets fixed tomorrow.
Mhm. Okay, start. Okay, if I didn't have the textbook, I could lose the course.
If Frank weren't so lazy, he could start his engineering major.
Okay. Number 3. Okay.
Number
18. Yes. If your purse hadn't been stolen, I could have had my ID with me.
If Greg didn't come to class every day, he could repeat the course.
Mhm. If Shu isn't sick tomorrow, he will visit his family.
If the boys don't pay attention in class, they won't pass the course.
Mhm. If the boys don't pay attention in class, they won't pass the course. If Fred hadn't fainted, he couldn't have broken his leg.
If that doesn't bring the money, we can go to the restaurant.
The teacher isn't going to be here if she takes another good course.
George can't speak well if he doesn't smoke.
Mhm. Jack might not be able to help him if he has to work overtime.
But what's the number? The 26th March.
Marge doesn't have to take the test if she gets high scores during the course.
Jack might not be able to help Jill if he hadn't forgot her cell phone.
Mhm.
Forgotten it.
Mhm. 28. William couldn't have fed the dogs if he hadn't had enough time.
Mhm. Um, Sam won't get there tomorrow. Um, Sam won't get there tomorrow if he had gotten a cold.
Mhm. The washing machine isn't going to break down.
Mhm.
Mhm. You start.
Okay. Okay, if I didn't have the textbook, I would no, I could have lost the course.
Mhm. If Frank weren't so lazy, he could be president of the class.
If my purse hadn't been stolen, I could have bought a new pair of pants.
Mhm. Um, if if Greg didn't come to class every day, he would be lost the class.
If Sue isn't sick tomorrow, he will go to the picnic.
Mhm. If the boys don't pay attention in class, they won't pass the course. Hey,
Yes,
Jesse.
if Fred hadn't fainted, um, he would have hit her head.
Mhm. Um, if Ted doesn't bring the money, he can't go at the park with his friends.
The teacher isn't going to be there if he's nervous.
Mhm. George can't speak well if he keeps drinking beer.
Um, Marge doesn't have to take the test um, if she gets an A in the course.
Mhm. Jack might not be able to help Jim if he has no work overtime.
William couldn't have pet the dogs if he is sick.
Mhm. Sam won't get there tomorrow if he doesn't have time to.
Number what?
Your turn is number 13. 13. Ah, we have to go.
Okay.
Guys, let's go. Ooh, sorry, I'm missing people. Okay, let's go to break right now, and we're going to check this after the break. Okay, so let's go.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Buenas noches, sí. Para, me voy para allá. Yo ando como una persona de un lado a otro.
¿Ah?
Que me voy a recibir las clases allá porque ando de un lado a otro. Son como pericos. Las dos se hicieron igual. Mami, yo salgo ahora la tiroides. La tiroides es emocional. ¿De verdad? Cuando uno padece la tiroides, le voy a decir que también funciona. Uy, María, porque sí, no, cuando le dice a que tiene una tiroides, lo decís, es la tiroides es emocional. Porque dice que usted, el organismo está hecho para protegerse de cualquier invasión de virus y de lo que sea afuera. Pero la tiroides se está atacando de adentro a usted mismo. Uno mismo se ataca. Eso dice que no es normal. Eso son emociones. No puede ser que el mismo cuerpo esté envenenando, matándose a usted. Si usted tiene eso, usted me lo voy a pasar. Eso Ay, otra vez a clases. Ay, teacher, no me haga preguntas hoy porque hoy sí no sé ni un carajo.
Okay, so let's start checking this. Let's see. Let's start with Veronica. Okay, Veronica, I need you to do sentence 19.
If Red didn't come to class every day, he would fail the course.
The course.
The course.
The course. Fail the course. Good. Okay, Oneida, you can do 26.
Okay. March doesn't have to take the test if she has good grades.
Okay, Natalie, you can do 21.
If the boys don't pay attention in class, they won't pass the course.
They won't pass the course. Good. Okay, Valeria, let's do 28.
Okay. And Will couldn't have failed the dogs if he hadn't had enough time.
Correct. Okay, Jose, let's do 20.
Is Sue sick tomorrow? He will be here. She will be here.
Yeah, I think it's she will be here.
She will be here. Gracias.
Yes, teacher.
Sorry, is it is here? It is. Okay, it is. You can do 17.
If Frank weren't so lazy, he could be a president.
Okay, good. And let's have also. Is Stephanie here? No, she's absent. Okay, Viviana. Viviana, you can do 16.
Okay. If I didn't have the textbook, I could lost the course.
I could
Lost the course.
could lose the course.
Could lose the course.
The course. And Millie, I need you to do. Let's see. Okay, let's do 22. Millie.
If Fred hadn't fainted, he would have hit his head.
What?
He wouldn't hit his head.
He wouldn't. Can we help?
He would have.
Would have?
But it says if Fred hadn't fainted. So maybe you can say he wouldn't have hit his head.
He wouldn't have.
Okay, he wouldn't have hit his head. Okay, really good. Okay, now we're going to practice, guys, the application. Okay, let me. Yeah, let's use this one here. Okay. Now remember, if you want to use the first conditional or the second conditional, you can use these structures here. You can use them in the questions. Okay. And also, for example, in this case, if you pay attention here, it says have to. You can also ask questions using does. Okay. I don't know, for example, you can say, does the reporter making a phone call have to? let's see, let's have Oneida. Okay, Oneida, you can help me reading the question.
Okay. Does the reporter making a phone call have to proofread an article later?
Proofread. Uh-huh.
Proofread.
Have to proofread an article later. Okay, so in this question, guys, I'm using have to. Okay. Now, who wants to give me an answer? Who wants to answer this question here? Volunteers. Do I have volunteers? Okay, let's see. Let's have Natalie. Okay, Natalie. Now, before you answer the question, in your opinion, is this like possible for him to do or impossible for him to do? What do you think?
It's possible to him.
Possible. Okay, all right. So that's it. That's your answer. Okay, so try to answer the question.
Okay. Have to. Okay. Yes. Yes. He have to proofread and
Has to.
he has to. He has to proofread.
Proofread.
Proofread an article later because he needs to do it. So if he wants to do it later, he will get more time, or he will have an hour in your schedule. I don't know.
You can keep it simple. I mean, like at the beginning you said yes, if he has to proofread an article later if, and then you can use if.
Okay.
So one more time. So yes, he has to.
He has to proofread an article later if he needs to do it.
But try to tell me, I mean, something different because, I mean,
If
you're saying
he
it has to.
You know, if
Probably,
he, okay,
probably
if
he wants
he needs to present and if he needs to present presentation tomorrow at the meeting.
Okay, if he, all right. So if he is going to give a presentation tomorrow, maybe. Okay. That's one. Jose.
could be if he wants is he wants to is he want to public the article.
So yeah, for example, you can say
if he wants.
One second. If he wants to publish the article, if he wants to publish it.
To publish, right? Sorry.
If he wants to publish it.
Public. Okay.
For example, if you want to complete the answer with more information, you can say if he wants to publish it in tomorrow's edition, maybe.
Edition.
So yes, he has to proofread the article later or soon, actually, if he wants to publish it in tomorrow's edition. Okay. So in this case, since Natalie said that it was possible for him, then we're using the first one in present. If it is impossible, maybe because he doesn't have time or because maybe that's not his job. I mean, he's not in charge of providing articles at the office. I mean, he's in charge of doing something different. Then you can try to use the second conditional. So you can say, no, he doesn't have to because he's in charge of what? He's in charge of interviewing people. So, and then you use the conditional, okay, because it is impossible. Okay, so that's like some ideas. So as you can see, guys, you can also use that in some questions. Okay, so you can try using more combinations. Okay, so let's practice this in pairs. And also, guys, if you need help, let me know. Okay, you can click on the help button so I can be here there and help you. Okay, so let's go. Let me just change the groups 1 second. We are 8 people. Okay. So let's go.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Make and questions.
Okay, you want to do it?
Okay, I'm going to ask.
Natalie.
Hello.
Should the owner of the newspaper office plan an interview for today?
Should the owner?
Should the owner of the newspaper office plan an interview for today?
Yes, he should. He will. He will organize an interview if he had enough time. If he has enough time.
It has.
Okay. Let me see. Can the lady with the ponytail print the new interview?
Can the lady with a ponytail print?
Print the new interview.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Can the lady with the ponytail print the new interview?
Okay.
Yes, she can. If she wants to print the new interview, she will have enough ink in the printer.
Yeah, good.
Okay, my turn, right? Okay. Did the manager compose an important headline?
Composed.
Compose an important headline.
Hairline.
Headline.
Ok, headline. Headline es como el título, ¿verdad?
Titular, sí.
El titular, ajá, ajá. Ok. No, he didn't. If he could compose the headline, maybe he can get more money. He could get more money.
Okay. Could you repeat the answer, please?
Okay, no, he didn't. If he would have composed,
if he had composed,
in singular. If he would have composed it, maybe he could have had a lot of money.
Okay, I think you are combining both parts. Because if you use if, it's not necessary to use would.
After
But
it,
you say?
after it, you You can use would.
Yeah.
Okay, I said, no, he didn't. If he would had,
Yes, without would. If he had
why?
composed,
Porque
porque así es la gramática.
había compuesto, pero si yo quiero decir hubiera compuesto.
Es que no sé si se puede usar los dos would have y would had.
No,
La
después
verdad.
del lead se utiliza el had y el past participle. Y el would se utiliza con el have
Ajá.
y el past participle.
Okay. If he had composed it, maybe he could had a lot of money.
He could have had.
He could had
He-
had a lot of money.
He could have had.
He could have had.
Ajá.
Yeah. Because the first had es como para decir hubiese, habría. Él hubiese
Ajá.
tenido, le hubiese hecho. Por eso los dos had o have had.
Mhm. He could have had. Okay, can you repeat why I can use would had?
Ok, la combinación de would have es lo que hace que diga como hubiese, habría, pero en pasado.
Debería, la terminación.
Debería. Ajá, todo lo que
Correcto,
terminaría en
would.
iba. Si usted
Exacto,
quiere
would
usar
have.
would have y aquí el verbo sea have, tiene que hacerlo dos veces.
Ajá, correcto, pero mi pregunta es, yo quería decir hubiera compuesto, would had composed.
Would have, had, composed.
Ajá.
Hubiera es, la palabra hubiera es would have. Ellas dos juntas conforman hubiera.
Ajá, hubiera compuesto, pero es que me dijeron que no usara would, me dijeron ustedes.
Con el if.
Es que hay dos partes.
Ajá. No
Ah,
puedo utilizar
con
el
el
would
if.
con el if. Ajá.
Ajá, son separados.
Ah,
El if es solo con el had y el would con el
Ajá.
have.
Ajá.
ok, fue putica, yo no me, eso estaba en una imagen.
No, en el libro de grammar.
Ok.
En la
Ahora
imagen
vuelvo a
también.
repasar
Ah, no, y
eso.
la imagen también, sí. Sí.
La pasó el 13.
Ajá. Sí,
O la que
la
enseñó.
primera que dice present probable y es if más present, luego if past y la última que es
Ajá.
if had más
Eso
past
siempre hay dos
Ajá.
partes.
Ujú,
Hubiese pasado esto sí, tal y tal cosa.
ujú.
Ese sí es el if.
Ujú. I had gotten. Ok, de acuerdo. Gracias.
Ya.
Okay. My question is, must the reporter have typed the comics for the newspaper?
Must the reporter what?
Must the reporter have typed the comics for the newspaper?
Have
Yes.
type.
Type.
Have typed.
Have to
typed,
type.
Yes.
Have to.
Have,
Uh-huh.
does the reporter have to type? Yeah. Have to type.
Have to type.
Yes, he must if he
Mm.
know how to do it.
Ah, tengo una duda ahí.
¿De qué?
El must y el have to funcionan igual.
¿En qué sentido?
Véalo en la lista. Will, going, might, must, can, expect to y have to. Must the reporter. Ah, ok, ya lo que. Bueno, no. Sorry.
No.
Como si él debería hacer tal cosa.
Correcto. Sí, es diferente.
No está-
Debe tener que escribir.
Correcto.
Ajá, como si él debería de escribir tal cosa,
Exacto.
como el cómic.
Ajá, exacto.
Sería como tal vez should. Pues,
Ah,
no,
ajá, should the reporter type without have to.
No, porque el más es como de una obligación, debería.
Ahí
Entonces,
está.
Es como la
must-
obligación.
Y-
Must the reporter type, maybe?
Viviana, you can say the question, please.
Okay.
Must the reporter have typed the comics for the newspaper?
You said must or might?
Must.
It's because must and have to is like
The
the
same.
same.
Yes,
The same.
I say that.
Yeah, you have reason.
Okay. Must, okay.
So you can say
Okay,
must he type
must, I said must the reporter have.
without have. So must the
Must the
reporter
reporter
type?
type?
Okay.
Because must, exactly, must is the same as have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, if you want to say have to, then you can say
After.
maybe might or does.
A should.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does, might, should, and then you can use have to.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot combine must and have to in the same question. One more time.
Okay. Must the reporter type the comics for the newspaper?
Okay, yes, he must if he's no, if he has enough time to do it. Okay.
Now, if the supervisor tells you that the answer is short, then you can, for example, use a connector. For example, you can say, yes, he must, if he has time. Uh, in fact, he's also a good designer, so he's going to also like design the cartoons for the comic. I mean, just adding more information.
To add him on. Okay. 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 Okay.
But you use the grammar, so it is fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next
Okay.
one.
Let me see. Um. Will the reporter take some pictures of Savannah?
Who's
Okay.
going to? Natalie, okay, okay. Go.
Yes. Yes, he will because he needs to do a presentation about the Savannah's damage.
Okay, maybe instead of presentation, another word.
Yeah, okay. Let me see, teacher. Let me think. Okay. Yes, he will. If he
Maybe instead of presentation, you can say report.
yes, he will if he creates a reporter about the Savannah's damage.
Or maybe
A
yes,
report.
he will. If he gets a good photos, he can blah blah blah. Maybe he can get the cover page or something like that.
I'm very lost about the grammar. Sorry.
Okay, one more time,
Yes,
Natalie. Mhm.
yes, he will. If he needs to take some pictures of Savannah's, um,
No, but I mean, like, let's see. It's because when you say will, you're saying that yes, he will take the pictures. If, and then here you have to tell me something different. For example, if he is going to, I don't know, if he finishes the report or if he needs to, as you said, write a report about the damage, for example.
yes, he will.
Or as Valeria said, like for example, if he gets good shots.
He could put it in cover page or something.
Yes, he will. He needs to research. Research. Es como documentar, no. He researched.
Research. Mm-hmm.
He researched them in a document for the president. I don't know.
But I mean, the question was different. Let's see. Okay, one more time. Sorry, one more time. Valeria, repeat the question.
Okay. Will the reporter take some pictures of Savannah?
Natalie?
Eh, Yes, he will. If he if he uh, if he composed, I don't know.
What do you want to say? Rights or?
If he publishes in a headline tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Or you can, yeah, maybe you can say if he has to publish them. If he has to publish them in the headline tomorrow. Mhm. Okay. So now let's have Natalie question.
Mm. Okay, can people pay a subscription to watch the news online?
To read or to watch? You said to watch.
To watch because
Okay.
in the TV.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Can you repeat, please? Can people pay?
A subscription to watch the news online.
To watch?
The news online.
Okay. Um, the news online.
Mm-hmm.
What means online?
The news online.
The
What?
news online.
Yeah.
Yeah, the news online. Okay. Um, yes, they can. Yes, they can't. If they have money, they can pay Netflix or another subscription they want.
Okay, sorry, you're using this one, right? The
Yes,
first one.
right. The first.
So you said yes, they can.
Yes, they can if they have money to pay all the subscription online like Netflix or Disney channels.
Yeah, but she's asking about the news, like maybe like the ones from this office.
The news like La Nación, CR or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
The news.
okay. Well, yeah, okay, it's the same. If they have money, they can pay all subscription they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want.
Exactly. Very good. Okay, now let's have Viviana question.
Okay, when should the newspaper staff help the reporter?
Okay, again, please. When should?
When should the newspaper staff help the reporter?
Okay, when?
Well,
They can't help him this morning if they don't have to take some photos.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let's try to continue asking these questions like in present, but now let's try to use the second conditional.
Okay.
So let's continue.
okay, teacher, thank you. Teacher,
Tell me.
did you see my mail?
Yeah, I did, but I couldn't reply because I was like,
Okay,
I was working.
I want to know if I write the mail
Yeah, I got it.
correct. Okay,
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now it's your turn. Do you have one?
So Valeria question and Natalie, you answer, I think.
Okay, it's my turn. Okay.
I know. Let's say.
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, because yeah. Let me see. Let me create one. Did the let me see. Did the advertising manager let me see. Did the advertising manager ask for help?
Okay.
No, he didn't, because all the people were busy. So uh, the advertising manager would have hired a new assistant if he had more help.
Mm, yeah, okay, so okay. He would have hired a new assistant
If he if he, no, sorry, if had wanted to have more help.
if he had wanted to have.
If he wanted to have.
If he had wanted to have more help.
If he had wanted to have more help.
Exactly. All right, good. Okay, let's have one more. Natalie and Viviana.
Did the man, okay, no, the reporter interview the victims.
Okay, so we're going to use the second conditional again.
Okay, can you repeat, please?
Yes.
Did the reporter?
I am going to use it. Did the reporter interview the victims?
You said did. Okay, so let's use the third one. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Did the reporter interview the victims? Yes, he did. Yeah, they did, because he had a new history for the newspaper, and after that, and if he had interviewed teacher, how
interviewed?
I say interviewed, they can have another people for see the newspaper, to show the newspaper, not to see the newspaper.
I didn't understand what you said.
Teacher,
I got lost.
I'm lost too.
Okay.
Let me see.
Let's see. All right.
Okay.
So Natalie, let's repeat the question again.
The reporter interviewed the victims. Okay, my answer is yes, he did.
Okay.
Because if he had interviewed them, he could had more views for the newspaper.
Okay, now, okay, let's see. Remember, Viviana, that this didn't happen. Okay, so it didn't happen. Your idea using
okay,
I mean,
right.
this is good. I mean, like the sentence that you're saying is correct. If he had interviewed them, he could have had more views.
Yeah.
That means that he didn't interview them and he didn't have like the views he wanted, right? So maybe your answer is no. He didn't.
Okay, no, he didn't.
If he had it, if he had
more interviews,
if he had interviewed them,
if he had interviewed them, he could have a lot of views.
Oh, he could have.
He could have.
He could have had.
Yes, he could have
more
had.
views.
More views. Okay, he could have more views.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I told you, like, it is easier for you if you say no most of the times.
Yes. Okay.
Because it didn't happen.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Let's continue practicing. Okay, let's do a couple of questions more because I need to check some people here. So let's continue practicing. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Okay, I was the lost.
No, that's grammar is difficult. I think.
Yes, it's very difficult sometimes, but this week or the last week I can to connect all the lessons, so it's more
Yeah.
difficult because I needed to study the weekend.
Yeah.
I saved the picture and I saved the videos, the class, all the class. I have all of the class, but it's complicated because I need to see all the videos. But
Yeah,
I'm
to
trying.
take the time to do it.
Yes, I'm trying. It's complicated for me, this sentence.
Yeah. We need to try to understand what we want to say and in one context we want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's more easy to use if first. I don't know why. If he do
Uh-huh.
that
Yes,
thing, he would blah blah blah.
uh-huh. I think the same. It's very,
Yeah.
it's more easy if I
Yeah.
say it, if I use it.
We can try to.
I would like to practice more, but sometimes it's difficult because if I make a question, for example, in the group, no one answered.
It's because maybe the time of the people is, yeah, it's so close maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, practice.
Okay.
Because I need it.
Yeah, me too. Who want to be another question?
Okay, I'm going to make the new, oh my God, the new question. Let me see the picture. Okay. Okay. Can the newspaper office have freelance writer?
A freelance?
Office writer, a freelance writer.
He's a freelance writer.
Como
Escritor independiente.
independiente.
Like outsourcing.
Yes, not in payroll.
Ah, okay. Can you repeat it again, please? Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Can the newspaper office have a freelance writer?
No, they can't.
They know because it's only one office.
No, but
there is a lot of people in the
I
office.
don't know.
She can use
Newspaper office is the office. Or the owner of the newspaper office.
Okay, that's different.
Yes, can the owner of the newspaper office have a freelance writer?
Okay, no, he can't. No.
Writer.
No, he can't. If he could get a new freelance writer, he would pay more money for him. That's right.
The second conditional.
Yeah. I tried to use the second conditional because I don't.
If it had. No. Could you repeat the answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna try because I can't remember. Okay, no, he can't. That's the part of negative.
He couldn't. No.
He couldn't.
No, it's can because the question is about can.
Okay.
Okay. No, he can't. If he could get.
If he got.
If he.
If it got. Ajá, porque es if y el verbo en pasado.
Okay.
The question is in present, not it's in past.
But she is answering in second conditional.
Yeah, in negative.
In
if
negative.
you make the question in present, you can use the both forms. If you use did, it's only the third form.
So, no, he couldn't. Sería.
Viviana said that it's correct if you use can.
Can't if can't.
Okay. No, he can't if he got, oh God.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to say.
This. I'm going to start. Let me check the list. So Veronica, question, and Millie, you answer.
Is the boss planning to give vacation to the employees?
Yes, he is. But if they want to get the vacations, they need to finish the work.
So you added a new one here. Need to. Okay, thank you. All right, we have one more. Need to. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, Millie, question, and Edith, you answer.
Okay. And okay. Did the man on the phone contact his boss? Contact his boss.
No, he didn't. He will have called him. He will have called him, right? Called him. If he had the time to do it.
If he?
If he had the time to do it.
Okay. Here you can say called or contacted him.
Contacted him.
You can also use the same action. Contacted him. Okay. If he had time. Okay, good. So now let's have Edith. And with the question, sorry, with the answer, Viviana.
Okay. Okay. Will the reporter take some pictures of the Cheripo mountain?
Mountain.
Mountain. Mountain.
Take some picture of the Chiripo mountain. Okay. Okay. No. No, he won't. If he would do it, maybe he need to make hiking on the mountain for take the pictures.
Okay, try to follow the grammar. If he.
Okay, if he take the pictures.
If he.
If he if he took the picture, he need to make the hiking for the mountain.
He would.
He would.
Okay, he would.
Yeah.
He would.
So if he took the pictures, or actually, I would say if he wanted to take the pictures.
Okay, if he wanted to take the picture, he would make hiking.
He would hike.
Hike.
He would go.
He would go hike.
He would need to go hiking.
He would need to go hiking.
Okay, one more time. No, he won't.
No, he won't. If he took,
If he wanted to take.
if he wanted to, um, if he wanted to talk them,
To take.
if he wanted to take the
Pictures?
hiking or
The
to take the
pictures.
pictures for to take the picture of the Chiripo mountain, he would need to go hiking.
Correct. Good.
Okay.
Okay, now let's have Viviana and Valeria.
Okay. Can the owner of the newspaper office have a freelance writer?
Okay. No, he can't. If he wanted to get a new free what?
Freelance writer.
Freelance writer, he could pay for it.
He could?
Paid. Or he could let me see. He could do ads for it.
Okay, or he could
Look
advertise.
for it. Look for it.
Yeah, or advertise or public the job.
Publish.
Publish the job.
Publish the job. Okay. Let's repeat the answer one more time.
Okay. And no, he can't. If he want to if he wanted to get a new freelancer, right?
Freelance.
Freelance
Writer.
Writer.
Writer. A free writer.
Freelance writer.
Freelance writer. He could publish the job. Publish the job.
Or I think someone said, or he could look for it, or for him, or
For
her.
him.
Her.
All of you guys repeat after me. Publish.
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 It is similar when you say public. You say pub, right? You don't say poof. You say public.
Publish.
Publish. It is the same. Okay, good. Now let's have Valeria. Wait, what's Valeria?
Yeah.
Okay, Valeria and Natalie. Continue.
Okay. Will the photographer publish his photos in the next article?
Okay. Now he won't. If he wanted to get a good photos in his next article, he would go to a good scenario to take them.
Okay. Wait, so a good spot, maybe.
A good spot to take a beautiful photos.
Okay, to take beautiful photos. Okay. Can you repeat the answer one more time, please?
Yeah, no, he won't. If he wanted to publish his photos in his next article, he would go to a good spot to take a beautiful photos.
Take them.
To take them.
Because you already said pictures before, so you have to take them. Okay. Okay, now let's have Natalie and Oneida. Continue.
Okay. Did the columnist write a headline about the basketball match?
Okay. Sorry, write a headline.
Write a headline about the basketball match.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to give you a suggestion. Maybe instead of match, it is better to say game.
Game.
In the US, people don't say match. It sounds weird. Game. Basketball game.
Basketball game.
Okay. Headline. Okay. And no, he didn't. But if he had written a headline about a basketball game, he would have gotten a big audience. I don't know.
A bigger audience.
A what? Sorry, teacher.
A bigger audience.
Okay, a bigger audience. Okay.
Audience.
Audience. Okay.
Okay, one more time. No, he didn't.
And no, he didn't. But if he had written about the basketball game, he would have gotten a bigger audience.
Correct, a bigger audience. Okay, now let's have Neiva and Jose.
Okay, let me see. Okay, did the columnist have to work last Sunday?
Did
Columnist?
okay, second please. Did the columnist has to work the last Sunday? Yes.
Yes.
No, he didn't. But if in the city had happened emergency, he would have worked.
Yeah. He would have worked. You said last Saturday, right? In the question.
On Sunday.
Sunday.
The last Sunday.
No, without that. Last Sunday.
He worked last Sunday.
Maybe here, Jose, I understood your idea, but maybe here we can say this. If something had happened in the city.
Yes.
So you can say in the city at the end, so it is clear. So let's repeat the answer. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. If something had happened in the city, he would have worked last Sunday.
There you go. Exactly. Now, for example, here, guys, if you pay attention, we used would have twice. So maybe in the evaluation, what we can do is to like vary the structure. So if we already used would have twice, maybe we can say might have, right? So he might have worked last Sunday, just to give more variation.
He might have worked, yes.
But it is fine. Okay, so actually the supervisor is going to tell you, for example, like if you already used, I don't know, like would and if in past a lot, so she's going to actually like cross them out for you just not to repeat them. Okay, and here, guys, I noticed that you didn't use the the conditional like in present, like possible. So that means that maybe you are focusing on the two more difficult ones, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, really good. No, but I feel that you understand the idea and you understand the grammar. Okay, so we're going to practice this tomorrow, like at the beginning. So try to join us like at 6:15, like at the beginning, so we can have more time to practice. And I'll let you know when the evaluation is going to be. I guess I was checking; it might be before the break, but I have to check. So just for you to know. Okay. So see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Okay.
Look.
Take care.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Good night.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, teacher.